Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. I am your billionaire Savio Billion Ladapo, and I'm here currently at Billionaire's Island by Cedarwood, Phase 7. And I'm here telling you that all 42 plots here has been parcellated and ready for physical allocation. And the physical allocation is coming up on the 16th of April 2024, where we are allocating plots to the first set of subscribers. I and my team will be very glad to have you.
Information, they say, is key. And by key, do well to join us every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 4 p.m. live on Facebook and on YouTube. We are Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.
This is Cedarwood Luxury Radio, Nigeria's first real estate radio.
All right, a beautiful rainy Monday. Yeah, today is Monday, and today started on a very good note. Yeah, it started on a very wonderful note. Yeah. Good morning, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to Nigeria's first real estate radio, Cedarwood Luxury Online Radio. My name is David, and this is Table Talk. Trust you had a wonderful night rest. And I hope your wet Monday morning is going fine as planned. Well, today, the show is actually starting way behind the scheduled time, or way behind schedule, for some wonderful, beautiful reasons. And we tender a sincere apology for that. We're doing everything possible to try as much as possible. We're doing everything possible to get to that place of perfection. All right. Yes. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you're fine. Hope you're good. Yeah, this is the kind of weather that we want. This is the kind of weather that we want. But the other side of this weather is the fact that there will be traffic on Lagos roads, and transportation will be very, very high. Yeah, very high. Oshodi to Ajah is usually 1,000 naira. This morning it was 1,500. Jakonde Gate to Oshodi is usually 300. This morning it was 500. Ijegun bus stop to Jakonde Gate is usually 200 naira if you are taking keke, 150 if you are taking bus. But this morning both the bus and keke was collecting 300. Okay, so I'd love to hear from you. Let me know where you're watching me live from. Let's know where you can hear us from. Let's know where you are watching us from. Do not forget, you can be part of our conversation this morning. Table Talk is a platform, a program on Nigeria's first real estate radio that brings to you the latest happenings, news, stories making the rounds. We come together, we select a few stories from various stories that newspapers are talking about, people are talking about. We bring them to the fore, we talk about them, and also give you the opportunity to talk about them as well. You can join the conversation via the comment section live on Facebook or YouTube. Do not forget to like, to comment, and to share. Our WhatsApp number is very much available. It is right there on the screen. You can send us a message as well. This morning, we have a few stories that we've selected to talk about today. And please join me this beautiful Monday morning. All right. What time did you get to office this morning? For me, I got to office the time I got to office. So I'm asking you, what time did you get to work today? For those of you that are, that is doing office work. Me, I'm doing studio work. I'm not part of the people that are doing office work. Me, I'm doing studio work. Whether you believe it or not, whether I like it or not, me, I'm doing studio work. So what time did you get to work today? And how much did you spend for transportation from the usual transport? So if you usually spend like 1,000 naira going to office, how much did you spend this morning? And let's calculate how much extra. Hopefully, after the close of work this morning, well, the roads will be free and transportation will be less. But then I also got to remember that there are queues in several fuel stations. Well, a few of them, and some others not really serious queue. And I don't know how much fuel is now. How much is fuel in your area? If you know how much, okay, I'd love to hear from you. Let's talk about it quickly. As usual, we begin table talk with a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about. So take down your pen and papers, but you don't need it. Just pay close attention as I bring to you a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about this beautiful Monday morning. Beneficiaries of the federal government's 50,000 naira grant for nano businesses, for nano business owners have started receiving credit alert. Glory be to God. Somebody shout hallelujah. Shout hallelujah. If you are one of those, yes, put your hand, clap for them, clap. If you are one of those that have received alert, please, I want to hear from you. Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, who confirmed this at the weekend, said no fewer than 200,000 small business owners have received their payments. Okay. All right. The statewide exercise to free Lagos of visible security risks has continued after the arrest of some suspects under the Dolphin Estate Bridge. A statement by the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Motorshaw, said 450 miscreants were rescued at the weekend. Vice President Kashim Shettima departed Abuja on Sunday for Dallas, United States, U.S. He will represent President Bola Tinubu at the 2024 U.S. African Business Summit to be hosted by the Corporate Council on Africa at the K Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas, Texas. Normalcy is gradually returning to the supply and distribution chain of premium motor spirits (PMS) or petrol after the scarcity of the product in the last 3 weeks. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) blamed the development of logistic issues. The return of normalcy was not unconnected with the opening up of reserves by the NNPCL for supply to the marketers. Okay, the Department of State Service (DSS) has sealed Al Hassan Clinic in the Onguan Rogo community in Jos North LGA of Plateau State due to allegations of quackery and reported death of a female patient. It was learned that the death of the woman last week following a surgery performed by one Mr. Abdul Lukman sparked reactions in the area, with many attributing the death to the surgery, which subsequently raised concerns about Abdul's medical specialty. Residents of Mende Estate Villa in the Maryland area of Lagos State have decried the recent demolition of their multi-million naira houses in the area by the Lagos State government while seeking compensation for a new shelter. It was gathered that the estate's homes were destroyed in the last demolition exercise. This time around, 2 suspects are in the custody of the Edo State Police Command in connection with the disappearance and death of a 200-level undergraduate Delta State University undergraduate of Delta State University of Science and Technology, Agbo Miss Faith Modon. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has intercepted 511 jumbo sacks of cannabis sativa weighing 4,752 kg concealed in the gas tank compartment of a truck along the Abuja-Abaji Highway. The agency, in a statement on Sunday, said the operatives on a stop and search operation along the highway on Wednesday, May 1st, intercepted the 40-feet gas tanker marked RBC 77XG, and upon a thorough search discovered the sacks. Another improvised explosive device, IED, planted along Maiduguri, Dekwa, Gamboru, Ngala Road, has killed 7 people, including a telecommunication expert, Malam Abashua Bulamawa. The incident took place weekend when their vehicles drove on the planted IED in between Dakwa and Logomani village, about 8 kilometers drive from Maiduguri. And that's a summary of what Nigerian newspapers are talking about this morning. And this is the point where we segue into stories that we've selected to talk about this morning. This time around, let's go to Ondo. It says here that kidnappers sleep off after abducting pastor's wife, others in Ondo. Is that not a great testimony? I can imagine the pastor's wife and others giving testimony in church. The Lord put to sleep our enemies. All right, operative of the Ondo State Police Command have arrested 5 suspected kidnappers who slept off after abducting a pastor's wife and 2 other persons. The suspects reportedly slept off after taking hard drugs. Wonderful. The suspects include Garuba Mumuni, of course. Of course, if you know, you know. 27 years, Yusuf Tale Tale, 21-year-old human being involved in kidnapping. Another Kabiru Mohammed, 16 years. Shuaibu Umar and Adamu Mohammed, 22 years old. Imagine a 16-year-old boy kidnapping me. Yeah. Just give him dirty slap and say, my friend, will you get out from my way? You walk out of iniquity. God no go allow us see you in Jesus' name. Say amen. The police said the suspects were arrested by men of the Ofusun division after the victims identified one of them. According to the police, a case of kidnapping was reported at Ofusun division that a pastor's wife and a member were kidnapped in the church, while the 3rd victim was kidnapped while picking snails on the farm. When he wanted to just enjoy his life with this raining season and the fact that it is time to harvest snail, You decide to go and kidnap him. Now, my brother, don't mind those useless boys, eh? Just please go. Maybe you find another place to go and harvest snails. Please ensure you eat snail today. Eh? Thank God for your life and testimony. Eh? He says that through intelligence on May 1st, 2024, 5 among the 6 kidnappers were arrested by the men of Ofusun Division and have been identified by the victims as part of the gang that adopted them. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Abayomi Oladipo, said the suspects would soon be charged to court. Please also charge them for drugs and involvement. All right, this time around, Tinubu is talking, and let's hear what he's saying. I said Tinubu, sorry, Atiku. Atiku is saying something this morning. He's saying that Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is Tinubu's personal interest. Okay, Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Tinubu's personal interest behind hasty project. The 2023 People's Democratic Party PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar on Sunday said the Nigerian government was solely expediting action on the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway due to the business ties between President Bola Tinubu and Gilbert Chalgori, the owner of High Tech. All right, Chalgori is the contractor responsible for the highway project. Atiku said the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway contract was granted in violation of the procurement regulations. I said I was going to read out something this morning that Rufai, a TV presenter in Arise, he posted something on his X handle, which I bookmarked. Let me see if I can take that. I'll just move on. Which is concerning this this same coastal highway thing. Okay. I can't find it, I guess. Okay, yeah. Now, when I'm done with this, I'm going to read out this very, very post by Rufai, a TV presenter on Arise TV, because it is in relation with what I've just read on from Daily Post. Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Tinubu's personal interest behind hasty project, and also it is also in relation with the complaints by residents of Mendane, Maryland, who suffered or who experienced their buildings demolished. And also, not even the building demolished now. Sorry, I've mixed it up. I'm talking about the landmark beach. Yes. Okay. All right. It says that Atiku said the Lagos Coastal Highway contract was granted in violation of the procurement regulations. In a statement signed by his media aide, Paul Ibe, Atiku disclosed that the involvement of Tinubu's son and his associates on the boards of companies belonging to Chalgori presents a clear conflict of interest. Atiku also claimed that Tinubu's son, Sheyi, is a director on the board of CDK Integrated Industries. The former vice president said, instead of enhancing the case of doing business, the Tinubu government has allegedly demonstrated to the global community that his business endeavors and those of his family would consistently take precedence over national interest. Atiku claimed that the projects being done with more than $13 billion was awarded without competitive bidding. Atiku also claimed that the so-called Badagry-Sokoto highway would be awarded similarly at an enormous cost to taxpayers purely because Tinubu had put his interest ahead of the Nigerian people. Atiku said the demolition of tourist and recreational facilities and other properties within the Oniru corridor, including parts of landmark without ample notice, is one of the reasons foreign direct investment continue to elude the country. He added that in more orderly environment, establishments like Landmark would have been provided with a minimum of 2 years notice to facilitate proper planning, which I totally agree with. I totally 100% agree with the last part of this the last part of what I've just read. I totally agree with it. If I thought you're going to take out Landmark, if I thought you're going to demolish anything, at least there should be a long notice. Yeah, a long notice, especially the Landmark part of this conversation. And you know, all forms of suspicion that will be raised would actually look true, and to a large extent will become true. I think on one of the days when this development recently begin to rise, we talked about the fact that the Landmark, or some part of the Landmark, from the original plan of the road construction, is not even supposed to be affected. That investment is not supposed to be affected. But for one reason or the other, best known to whosoever, Landmark is being affected. And you know, it was being said that why not go back to the original plan of this road construction? Why try to you know, the whole matter just tire me, honestly, because I really cannot imagine what the owners of the owner of this investment would be going through right about now. The fact that a whole lot has been a whole lot of money, resources, investments, and all that. Just wake up one morning to. All right, we take the next story this time around. It says here, I'm reading from the Daily Post. Concerns as gas tanker explosions claim 13 lives, many properties in 1 week. In 1 week. It's so amazing, yeah? So amazing. No fewer than 13 lives, 113 vehicles, and unspecified number of houses have been destroyed in separate gas tanker explosions that occurred in Rivers, Osun, and Delta State in the last 7 days. Daily Post reports that tanker explosions have been consistent in the country, leading to loss of several lives and properties. The recent occurrences have raised concerns among stakeholders who are calling for a better method of transporting all petroleum products across the country. At this age and time, we don't have a proper and safer way of transporting petroleum products. It is well. Recall that on Friday last week, April 27, a tanker conveying petroleum motor spirit (PMS), otherwise known as petrol, burnt motorists and commuters are beyond recognition and destroyed at least 120 vehicles in Rivers State. 5 unlucky persons, including a pregnant woman, were killed in the unfortunate incident. The incident occurred between the Idorama Petrochemical Company gate and the Aleto Bridge on the popular and ever-busy Eleme section of East-West Road, now undergoing major reconstruction by the federal government. Barely 12 hours after the Rivers incident, a gas tanker exploded in Itaosin, Abeokuta, Ogun State, on Saturday, April 29, killing 1 person, while about 5 others were seriously injured. The incident, which also left 5 vehicles burnt, occurred following a suspected brake failure, after which the tanker rammed into the road culvert and went up in flames. According to the spokesperson of the Ogun State sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Florence Okpe, the deceased was suspected to be the motorboy of the gas landing tanker. On Friday, May 4, about 8 persons were killed in a petroleum tanker explosion at the Ometan Okpere community along the Efuron Sapele Road in Okpere local government area of Delta State. Daily Post gathered that a breastfeeding mother and her 3-month-old baby were among the casualties. It was learned that the breastfeeding mother was burnt to death while trying to rescue her baby who was trapped in the inferno. Sources at the incident also disclosed that a 16-year-old secondary school girl and her mother, who were trapped in the apartment, also died in the fire incident. Daily Post gathered that the incident occurred on Friday when the ill-fated tanker coming from Efuron reportedly lost control while overtaking another truck a few meters away from the boundary bridge between Uwe and Okpe local government area. According to eyewitnesses, the front part of the oil tanker suddenly detached from the rear compartment while on motion, leading to an explosion. All buildings within the incident scene were razed. Some residents who were trapped in the building were also burnt to death. Speaking with Daily Post on Saturday, the Delta State Police Public Relations Officer Edafe Bright confirmed that about 8 bodies were recovered from the incident scene. He said the head of the tanker pulled off from the body of the truck. The vehicle fell and went up in flames, leading to the major incidents that claimed those lives. About 7 houses, 5 shops, including POS shops, were burnt down. 4 vehicles, including car, truck, were all destroyed by the inferno. Governor's FG moved to end incessant gas explosion. The 36 governors under the aegis of Nigerian Governors Forum on April 28 said the discussions were advancing among them and strategic federal agencies in the oil and gas industry in a bid to adopt safer methods of transportation of petroleum products across the country. It's quite unfortunate, right? Quite unfortunate. Oh my goodness. Not a good one at all. It's quite sad. You see, the fact is that some of these tank drivers, truck drivers, they know their vehicles are not in good shape. They drive recklessly, but still, yeah. All I can say is well. All right, let's move to the Guardian this time around, and it is a story that says 80% of Lekki buildings have no approval in Lagos. And my question is, who gave them the approval to build? If 80% of Lekki buildings have no approval, who gave them the approval to build? Lagos State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Oluyinka Olumide, said 80% of buildings in Ibeju Lekki have no approval. Olumide disclosed this in an interview with newsmen recently. He said, just last week, Thursday and Friday, myself and the team were in the Ibeju Lekki and Ekwe axis, and you would agree with me that anybody passing through that corridor would see a lot of estates marked. We were there, and I can tell you that from what we saw, over 80% of them do not have approval. The procedure to get approval is first to get the planning information as to what those areas have been zoned for. In this case, what we have is agricultural land, and people now go to their families to buy agricultural land. Of course, those lands would be sold because of those families do not know the use of such land. Okay, do not know the use such land would be put to. All right, do not know the use such land would be put to. The next thing to do is the fence permit. If you missed the earlier information on not knowing the area zoning at the point of getting the fence permit, you will be able to detect that the area is zoned for. After that, the layout permit a large expanse of land follows. Olumide noted that a layout permit cannot be obtained if it is not zoned for the purpose it was designed for or for the purpose it was being requested. So you can see all these layers, but people still go ahead to start advertising. Some have even gone to the extent of displaying the sizes they want to sell. Imagine someone in the diaspora who wants to send money without any knowledge. Then no approval is eventually gotten, even if they pass the assignment and they and they solve it to them. We would not grant the individual permits because the area is not zoned for that purpose, he said. The Chief Executive Officer of Octo 5 Holdings, Jide Odusolu, said Lekki Peninsula's master plan got distorted post 2010 due to the rapid development with newer estates sidestepping old regulations. He said the Lekki Peninsula had a master plan which was originally launched when Bola Tinubu was the governor and updated under Babatunde Fashola. Almost all large estates along the estate corridor, especially those developed between 2000 and 2008, have approved layout plans. It was obligatory and rigidly enforced by the state government. All right, what's your take on some of the stories I've presented to you this morning? I'd love to hear from you. Okay, what's your take on those stories, sir? Do not forget to join the conversation. Yeah, feel free to join the conversation. Let's quickly take our next story, and this time around from Premium Times. And Premium Times editorial, it says here that coastal highway of misplaced priority and due process abused. And this is the point where I'll take the very post from Rufai, a presenter of Arise TV. But then I'll take this one. It says just a few paragraphs and then we'll move. All right, construction of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway have begun amid the myriad of fiscal and due process concerns. But indifferent is the response of President Bola Tinubu's administration to the challenges. The 700-kilometer stretch of road infrastructure, which will span 8 years to complete, will gob a staggering 15 trillion naira. The figure is tentative, given the country's inflationary spiral. The project might well be significant economic benefit for the country, but there are real questions involved, especially as regime spokesperson have repeatedly reiterated the fact that our economy is bankrupt, of which there is no question. Okay, the pilot phase of the construction has started at the Eco Atlantic City, and it will terminate at Lekki Deep Seaport, for which 1.06 trillion naira has already been released. It is a highway of 10 lanes, which will cost 4 billion naira per kilometer, and would be the first of its kind in Africa, says the Minister of Works, David Omai. His zealousness in its implementation brooks no dissent, and sometimes it gets spiteful. The first set of victims whose properties were demolished to pave the way for the construction were paid 27.75 billion naira in compensation last week. All right. There are similar road network in the offing in the Sokoto-Badagry Coastal Highway and the Enugu-Abakaliki Ogoja Cameroon Highway. In what seems like a geopolitical balancing act as a spur, the letter will cross through Otokpo in Benue State to Nasarawa State and end at Apo in Abuja. On the second project, Mr. Umahi said, we have started the design, and I'm sure that as soon as the Federal Executive Council approves it, we will be starting at the Sokoto side. Given its 1,000-kilometer length, it will surely go up over 20 trillion naira. Well, in as much as this is a good idea and the economic benefits, whatever form of consideration that needs to be put in place should also be put in place, so that at the end of the day, we would have a win-win situation. Yeah, all right. This one says major tankers demand more fuel as depot stock drops. Okay. Reading from the Punch this time around, in an attempt to put an end to the fuel scarcity that has lingered for about 2 weeks across the country, petroleum marketers on Sunday advised the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to continue its emergency fuel supply for another 2 weeks. This came as the NMD PRA disclosed that about 4,000 trucks laden with petroleum motor spirit departed Lagos depots for filling stations in various states over the weekend to supply the product. The federal government had, through the NMDPRA on Wednesday, said it began a 15-day emergency fuel supply last week Monday to ensure the commodity circulates across the length and breadth of the country. All right. The government also disclosed that vessels importing PMS would continue to berth at the shore to discharge fuel to different depots from where the product would be distributed to different filling stations. In an interview with our correspondent on Sunday, the Southwest Regional Coordinator for NMDPRA, Ayo Cardoso, said no fewer than 300 million liters of petrol were loaded at various depots in Lagos between Friday and Sunday to reduce the queues in filling stations. However, it appears the queues have yet to ease off to an appreciable level as many filling stations remain short in Lagos, Ogun, Abuja, Oyo, and others due to lack of fuel supply. Our correspondent reports that in some areas where the products were available, marketers sold for as high as 1,000 per liter, thereby causing long queues in stations selling for prices around 600. You know, when I was in Asaba last week and I heard that fuel in Lagos is now 1,000, I began to plead the blood. And then we'll take this very one. Let me see. Okay. After this, I think I have 2 more stories to go. All right. And then I'll call it a day. Okay. Let's take this very one. Why I lived on the Lagos Bridge, 75-year-old Ghanaian. One of the displaced squatters of the 86 apartment under the Dolphin Estate Bridge, Ikoyi, Lagos, Usman Hassan, has spoken about his time. All right. Okay. About his time in the squalid environment. Okay. Daily Trust reports that the Lagos State government had on Wednesday blown a cover of the underbridge apartment where tenants reportedly paid 250,000 naira annual rent. Wow, amazing. The State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resource, Tokumbo Wahab, disclosed this in a video post on his X account. Yeah, I saw the video yesterday. Quite a number of videos posted yesterday. Wahab revealed that the 86 position rooms size 10 times 10 and 12 times 10. He added that the enforcement team of Lagos State Ministry of Environment and Water Resource has successfully removed all structures, including a container utilized for various illegal activities from beneath the Dolphin Estate Bridge. Sharing videos, the commissioner wrote 18 individuals squatting illegally under the bridge leading from Dolphin Estate were arrested yesterday, 30th of April 2024, by the officials from the Lagos State Environment Sanitation Corps. A total number of 86 rooms partitioned into 10 times 10 and 12 times 10, and the container used for different illegal activities were disclosed under the Dolphin Estate Bridge. One of the displaced squatters, Hassan, a 75-year-old Ghanaian, said he was a teacher at Remo Divisional High School, Ogun State, before relocating to Lagos, also known as Baraka. The Ghanaian said he was not around during the attack by the Lagos officials, and as such, he lost some of his belongings to the onslaught. Telling a story behind the apartment, he told Daily Trust that the man who owned the place doesn't force people. The engineers working on the company, referring to a company around, begged him for their workers to stay nearby, and when they need them for work, they'll enter the place. I don't know exactly how much he collects from them, but personally, he didn't collect anything from me. For people paying either it's 250 or not, I don't know. He explained that people found a solace in the underbridge apartment because town is hard and they could not afford a rent within Lagos. Hassan said, you see, conditions are hard for people in the country and not everyone can afford houses in the town. I've been in the country since 1981 in Ogun State. I was a teacher in Remo Divisional High School for about 11 years before I came to Lagos. No work in town to survive on. This man pitied my condition and gave me space here under the bridge. So when this thing happened, I took my belongings and I'm going again. Asked what is the hope for the future, he responded, well, everything is in the hand of God. Sleeping under the bridge is dangerous, but the condition of the country made people resort to this. Oh, wow. As you are seeing me, I don't have a dime in my pocket. Osana, a 12-year-old girl from Kogi State, said her elder sister brought her from the village. She is paying, but I don't know the amount. I don't really enjoy the place. I want a new house where I can stay with my parents in peace and enjoy ourselves. We have to stay under the bridge with my sister so we could raise money for a new house, she told our correspondent. Oh, wow. People are going through a lot, and a lot is going through people. Military Road, Chad votes for president today. All right, let me take this as my last story. I'll take this very one. Government served Lagos State demolition notice since 2001, says commission. So people that are coming to say what they are saying, and they are now telling you that the notice have been served since 2001. So there's no point saying other things that. Lagos State Commissioner for Environment, Okumba Wahab, has disclosed that the government issued the residents of Mende Villa Estate 2 demolition notice in 2001 and 2023. The commissioner's clarification came on the heels of allegations made by a property developer in Mende Villa who claimed the property notice was not given before the commencement of the demolition exercise. Probably the notification was sent out and the residents didn't get it. Yeah. Speaking on the Arise TV's morning show on Sunday, he insisted that the government authorities have issued contravention notice and marked the properties slated for demolition before the exercise was carried out on Sunday. According to Wahab, his predecessor, Tunji Bello, served contravention notice in 2021, to property encroaching on the setback of the System 1 drainage channel in Mendevilla, Maryland, and upon assuming his role in Governor Babajide's second term, he added that the latest notice were issued to the developers in November 2023. If there was no notice, how come the developer has been engaging us with documents and correspondences for the past months? The commissioner queried. Wahab further stated that the Lagos civil service consisted of the most efficient personnel who would never engage in practices capable of jeopardizing their career and future. All right, let's take our very last story for this morning, and then we'll call it a day and be back again for the real estate market trend. Military ruled Chad votes for president today. Yes, Chadians began voting for a president on Monday, which is today, in an election purportedly aimed at ending military rule, but dismissed by opponents of junta leader Muhammad Idris Deby as a fix following violent repression. Voters will choose whether to extend decades of Deby family rule in one of the world's poorest countries, a crucial territory in the fight against jihadism across the Sahel Desert region. They have the chance to opt instead for Deby's own Prime Minister, Success Masra, denounced as a stooge by the critics in the absence of any other serious challengers. At his closing election rally on Friday, Deby, have I been saying Deby? Deby promised a knockout in the first round. Masra also vowed to win without a runoff, telling supporters, for the first time, Chad will be yours, Chadians. International human rights groups have warned the election will not be free or fair, as Deby's main rival has been killed and others banned from standing. I would encourage you to pick up the Vanguard and read up on the full gist. This is the point where we'll call it a day for Table Talk. Today, Monday, the 6th of May. And by the way, Happy New Month to everybody. Okay, I was there last week, May 1st. Okay, yeah. So I've not said Happy New Month officially. 6th of May, Happy New Month. We'll be back again by 4 p.m. for the real estate market trade. Do well to join us by that time. And do have yourself a wonderful, beautiful Monday.
You go dey drive am small. Maybe by power, now by skill. Okay, you understand? Okay, sir. Okay, so put your leg for the brake. Don't put your leg for brake. Wear seat belt now, madam. Hey. So because I know where you will be learner, you know go here. You enjoy am? Yes. You enjoy am? You enjoy am, sir. And for you to buy motor now remain. Yes.
From work, oh, I come from work now. You dey learn how to drive? This one where you dey learn how to drive, you don't hide buy motor. Not be the same work where we dey do.
My dear, this trek where you dey trek, you dey enjoy am. You no dey tire. You never tire. Now the same work we dey work, but my eye don't open. Shey for this Asaba, my eye don't open. You never hear of P1 Plus?
Never hear. What did they do?
They give people motor anyhow. Brand new cars. Now so they give people motor anyhow. You never hear of the Cedarwood Billionaire Drive promo?
I never hear anyone. No, tell me.
These people, whether they copy 1 Plus people, the Billionaire Island people, you never hear of them.
I never hear.
They don't launch the phase 1 estate. They don't launch phase 2. Launch phase 3. Launch phase 4. Launch phase 5. People they sell, people they buy. My dear, I won't qualify. I don't sell too. And they expect to get SUV now. They expect to get for them. No be car. SUV. You know say level they change. SUV now.
So I won't get SUV like this.
You fit get SUV. You know how you go take get that? Na small thing. Just sell any of the billionaire estate from phase 1 to phase 7. Okay. If you fit sell 150 million naira from January to June 30th, 2024, you go qualify for Madam car. You be very bad person. You be very bad person. I'm gonna teach you how to drive motor. You be very bad person too. So if I know hear this kind of thing like this now, I for no know so I go feel qualify for motor. And tell me say this motor and I get them. Madam, you be very bad person. So it means if I say 150 million naira, say 200 million naira of land, then go give me motor. They give you motor, sharp, brand new motor. No be just this tear rubber. But then go still give me commission. You go get your commission complete. How many percent? And a 15% commission would they pay now. Hey! So I go collect 15% commission. I go come collect motor. Motor na jara on top of your commission. Na the jara wey dey on top of the commission na be this. Madam, I know they do this work again. No be, you don't pass. I know they do this work again. No, Oga, you go teach me finish. You go teach me finish because now by June I won't collect my own SUV. I take God beg you, when we go inside, make you teach me. So thing happen be say I go also teach your friend. Yes. All of us, so we go qualify for this. Me, you and her, we go qualify for our own 4 leg. I no be so. My own SUV. SUV. Oh yeah, now may we dey go. Madam, take. Me, I go collect new motor, you collect old one. Okay, now make I go. I want. You know go follow us. You like threatening my sister for us for motor. Please drop her.
You too can get a new ride in the Cedarwood Billionaire Drive promo. Start selling plots in Billionaires Island by Cedarwood Estate Series today. Terms and conditions apply.